Okay, why I organize myself. I don't know if this is off. Okay, as I organize myself, let me just say I am going to talk about Midland today. So just give me a few minutes here to adjust what I have to get out to do that. And I am very proud of the fact that I do get to talk about our amazing community. So thank you, Mike, for the wonderful introduction. And my thanks to Spence Brothers for sponsoring today's event. And Tony, my thanks to you and to the Chamber for inviting me here and for all the amazing work that you do in our community. I'm pleased to be joined here today by my colleagues on council, and I'd like to introduce them to you. Tim Solar, Ward 1. Steve Arnosky, Ward 3. Diane Brown-Wilhelm, Ward 4. And some of our city staff are also here. Brad Kay, our city manager. Our new city attorney, Chris Komara. Assistant city manager, Carol Stone. Our newest assistant city manager and head of planning and community development, Jacob Kane. And we had one new person join our leadership team this year, Laura Stowell. Laura is our new director of fiscal services. Okay, I want to introduce Sarah Pagano. Sarah is our manager at Barstow Airport, and she received 2 major awards last year and was named Airport Manager of the Year by the Michigan Association of Airport Executives. And I want to introduce Steve Pomeranke, whose heroic actions last year garnered national attention when he and 2 Good Samaritans rescued 3 elderly citizens trapped in a burning car. And And up on the screen are the names of our City Strive Awards winners, and these are folks who were chosen by their co-workers for the excellent work that they're doing in our community. So please, where any City Strive workers, stand up, and all of city staff that are here, will you please stand up, and will you please join me in thanking them for the amazing work that they do. And my thanks to all of you for being here today and for welcoming me to the podium for the 15th time. It's hard to believe that it's been 15 years, but it has, and I am honored to serve as Midland's mayor. I love how all of you inspire me with your generosity and integrity and everything you do to make Midland a wonderful community. This job, I love. Delivering the state of the city, not quite as much. It's not that I don't like to share the wonderful things happening, I definitely do, but I get nervous, I worry about it, and I want to make sure that I do it right. I want to make sure to share the challenges because we definitely have those. And I want to serve accomplishments because we have those in abundance. So this year, I had an idea that instead of agonizing over this, that I would let AI just do the work for me. So I downloaded a nice little app, I typed in a few concepts, I hit enter, and in seconds, I had 8 paragraphs. I have to say that it was pretty good. It made me realize, though, that our priorities and challenges in Midland must not be so different from other communities because I could have cut and pasted a majority of that AI version. It also helped me understand that our city and the people who work so hard to make sure that it thrives radiate a genuine authenticity that could never be adequately characterized by an app. Let me give you an example. Recently, Midland's Wellbeing Coalition applied for a grant related to the positive psychology work that they have been doing for 9 years in our community. As part of that, they needed a reference letter and received one from Leona Brandewine from the University of Pennsylvania's Positive Psychology program. Leona blew it out of the water. And here's what she said about the coalition, which can be extrapolated to mean the community, because this work was inspired and is led by many local leaders and citizens and impacts so many more. This is what she said. I have been continually impressed by Midland's dedication innovation, and commitment to making a difference. From promoting well-being and fostering inclusivity to addressing health disparities and building community support systems, their work touches the countless lives of individuals in Midland County. Their strength of character, strength of intellect, and strength of determination distinguishes them from other communities, and you can be sure that any resources invested will have a return on investment that will yield dividends far greater. This is how an outsider sees us. Now let me share with you some of the goals that we have this year and some of the things that we've accomplished. And I'll begin with the city. At the city, we continue to focus with the goals that work so well for us: economic sustainability, effective utilization of resources, and providing services that enhance quality of life. Here are what I see as our three main challenges and what we're doing to address those. The first is attraction of talent. I don't really think I need to explain this to any of you, because as we just heard, all of you are living it just as we are at the city. Without good talent, jobs remain unfilled, services suffer, and the economic growth and vitality, our economic growth and vitality, is compromised. While the city itself cannot fully address the challenges, we can be part of the solutions. We can invest in our community to make sure it is a place where people want to live, work, and recreate. And we can create places and experiences that people want to enjoy. We can also provide a regulatory environment that ensures higher quality development, and we can get out of the way when regulation isn't necessary. We work on these fronts every day in order to move our community forward. Second challenge is housing. Housing and talent attraction go hand in hand. Here are the concerns that we hear. Housing is too expensive. There's not enough housing units on the market for buyers to choose from. Rental units are scarce and overpriced. Businesses could hire more people if we had more housing options. We hear you, we get it, and we are committed to creating an environment where the housing needs of our community can be addressed. Our new master plan was the first significant step towards this goal. The next critical step is to better understand our housing needs as they exist today. What we have, what we need, and most importantly, what is the unmet need. We will answer these questions through an update to our 2018 housing study. This study is underway in partnership with Midland County and the Business Alliance and is expected to be ready towards the end of this calendar year. The third challenge is roads. And really, if you knew what I wanted to say, but she already said it, so I can't. But anyway, Midland is the 5th largest city by land area in Michigan. We have more than 240 miles of city streets to maintain. Maintaining a street network of this scale is difficult, both financially and logistically. Winter weather impacts roads, Michigan has a short construction season, and we are competing with other cities across Michigan for the same workers to do these jobs. We know that business and residents want to see conditions improve, and the city is undertaking a thorough analysis of our pavement and utility connections so we can make efficient repairs. We have to look at both utilities and streets because our utilities are located under the streets. And you don't want us to put in a road this year and rip it out next. So that's why we take a look at both, and I can assure you, we are committed to addressing this issue in our community. At our annual planning session in January, Council's directions to staff as they prepare the 2024-25 budget were to maintain services at the highest level financially feasible, to hold the millage rate at 15.14 mils for the 7th consecutive year. However, we did agree that we could be increased by up to a half a mil to achieve the following: to meet the regulatory requirements at Barstow Airport, to establish a building improvement fund, to make additional payments for unfunded liabilities, and to create a required leachate treatment system at the landfill. Now let me tell you what we accomplished last year and some of the things that you'll see in the future. And I'll begin with City Hall renovations. With the help of the Herbert and Grace A. Dow Foundation, this past year saw a significant change in Midland City Hall. We have moved from an open and unsecured floor plan to that was well-suited to public service at the time it was built in the 1980s, to a more modernized and secured facility that reflects the realities of public service in the 2020s. If you haven't been to City Hall, please come and check out our changes. It's wonderful. In September of last year, we released the draft master plan document, Midland City Modern. This plan is a vision for our future community that was developed through 2+ years of wide-ranging public engagement. The final amendments to the plan are being prepared, and the Planning Commission will hold a public hearing on the plan later this spring with adoption to follow. Ashman and Rod. This past year, we agreed that one way is the direction that we're going to be taking when it comes to Ashman and Rod. During those conversations, we were also reminded of the strong presence of our citizens who are interested in furthering non-motorized transportation options in our community. In that regard, conversations will still continue to look at potential biking lanes for Rod Street. The city has received a grant to do this work in collaboration with the Midland Area Transportation Study, and the grant is funded for us by MDOT. The fire department. Last year, we talked about challenges to the fire services in our changing community. And Midland enjoys some of the finest fire services available, and we know that the community appreciates them, but they do come at a significant cost to our taxpayers. For months now, we have been working with the Center for Public Safety Management, and in February, they presented us with a list of recommendations and options. There's a lot to this. It's complicated, and I believe that the process will take some time as we work to balance community expectations with our fiscal realities. Fire trucks. Like everything, there is a lifespan for fire engines, and over the past year, Midland has replaced 3 of its aging fire trucks. This type of proactive maintenance and replacement ensures that our Midland Fire Department has reliable equipment to respond to community emergencies. Police officers have a very complex job, and they are put in the midst of situations that I'm not sure many of us would want to deal with. Family crises, mental health issues, and domestic disputes, just to name a few. They have to be ready for anything, and ready they are. Through a dynamic collaboration with key partners, they have developed a cutting-edge rescue task force team dedicated to responding swiftly and effectively to active assailant situations. By harnessing their collective resources and expertise, they have forged a unified approach that prioritizes preparedness and rapid response. Add to that the implementation of the Virtua system, which allows for hundreds of realistic training scenarios through the use of virtual reality and gives our officers the chance to sharpen their skills in a safe but realistic environment. This system not only trains Midland Police Department, but we offer it to other local departments and the Delta Police Academy. Water. We do not take water for granted in the city of Midland, and let me assure you, it is of the highest and safest quality. We have just completed an evaluation of our water and distribution system to ensure that it meets the new lead and copper rule requirements. It's a hard one to say. It does, and we are proud of our team that provides that to you. Flooding. There is a high level of concern in the community about overland flooding and what we can do to help reduce its impacts. The reality is there isn't an easy answer to this. The city is working closely with our partners at the Midland Business Alliance and the Army Corps of Engineers to identify options and possible solutions. With the tremendous support from Senator Kristen McDonald-Rivet and Representative Bill G. Schuette, $40 million in state funding has been secured. Please watch for more to come on this. We'll be having more conversations soon. Water reclamation. We have an extensive list of things to do to enhance our sanitary sewer system to prevent sewage backups during significant flooding events. Let me tell you where we are with this. First of all, we're ahead of schedule, and the budget we've established for this work is looking good. We have upsized 1.5 miles of sanitary sewer mains in the Perrin and Sugnant Road area. And we have completed the 1 million gallon offline sanitary sewer storage facility. In the upcoming year, our work will focus on the Footing Drain Disconnect program and the Sylvan Lane sewer upsizing. On a separate but related front, the city has acquired more than 15 residential properties that were subject to repetitive loss due to flooding. Certainly, this was difficult for the families who decided to participate in this program, and we appreciate their willingness to help our community increase its resiliency to flooding. The Grace A. Dow Memorial Library is more than a place for book lovers. It's also a place for a hands-on experience. In 2022, the library opened MidLab, which is a makerspace that features equipment and tools to encourage creative endeavors and hands-on learning. It has grown exponentially in popularity and is a gem for makers in our community. Midland is working hard to be an inclusive and welcoming community where everyone thrives. And here are some of the things that we're doing to help accomplish that. We have accessible paths to the bandshell in Central Park. The Miracle Field accessible play area will be done this summer, along with an accessible restroom facility. And the Grove Park Changing Places restroom will open this summer, and I want to thank the Midland Noon Rotary for assisting us with this project. And I think we should give them a hand. I am very proud of everything we're doing here in the community, but let me say this. We don't do it at all, and we do not do it alone. We have many wonderful organizations that we work with, and I want to update you on some of the things that they're doing. The term icing on the cake refers to something positive that enhances a situation that's already good. That is what our foundations are for us. They are our icing on the cake. And last year, they invested over $41 million in Midland County. The MBA is our economic development partner, and they host the Advisory Committee on Infrastructure, which addresses flood reduction and resiliency planning. And last year, that $40 million that I talked about, they were instrumental in getting that for us. So far, they have secured over $56 million to assist on this front. They also lead the work on business and talent attraction, housing initiatives, and broadband. Another thing they do is host MyPros. This is a group for young professionals that provides personal and professional development opportunities. Since 2019, they have crowdfunded more than $150,000 that has been invested in 6 small businesses. And these funds have helped them either get established or expand. This is a group with a lot of energy. They're awesome, and I wish I was young again. Let me say that. Midland Public Schools has a couple of significant things happening. They are in the process of hiring a new superintendent, and I believe that that's going to happen tomorrow. And in May, their operating millage renewal is on the ballot, so please do your homework. This is a renewal, not something new, and get out and vote. Last year, we celebrated the launch of Max Loves Midland. I just want to say you all looked really good when you had these on. Looked beautiful. And Max has become so much more than just a calendar. It is also a talent and development tool where you and community visitors can connect with community resources or learn about ways to engage in our community. So the next time you're sharing information about Midland or looking for your next adventure, don't forget about Max. You will see some new public art this summer, and you all can be a part of it. The Art Scene Festival is an initiative of Public Arts Midland with a particular focus on making a mural making festival. And this festival also involves our community in the process. And it coincides with the Midland Center for the Arts Art Fair. So this year we're going to see 2 new murals in Midland, one at Lalonde's and one at Pizza Sam's. The Dow Great Lakes Bay Invitational has a new name, the Dow Championship. I don't know who thought of it, but I think it's perfect for them because it's a tournament for champions. The tournament's a champion for the region, bringing in over $15 million to this area each year, and it is a champion for the nonprofit communities, providing them with more than $500,000 each year in direct support. This year, the tournament will take place June 24th through June 30th, and as always, it'll be a fun time in Midland. The Visitors and Convention Bureau has completed their tourism master plan, and as a result of that work, they will be investing $600,000 into our tennis center's efforts to attract pickleball tournaments. Now, let's take a walk around the community. And I'm going to start with Bay City Road, Costco. Now, Mark, raise your hand. All right, Mark is the general manager of Costco, and we're glad he could be joining us here today. And when I spoke with him, he said that they have exceeded their growth expectations every year and feel that Midland has been a great location for them. Whenever I talk with Mark, he always makes me feel great because he says he's had company, and he said, Maureen, people come to Midland and they can't believe what this community has to offer. And I think you all should be very proud of that because you are the ones who make this community for sure. I think Costco is also a catalyst for change in that area of town, and we are beginning to see that. Aldi is hard at work planning for a second location at the corner of Rockwell and Bay City Road. Moving to Saginaw Road, Phase 1 of the Center City redevelopment plan has been completed with new amenities along Saginaw Road from Patrick to Dartmouth. Like we've seen downtown, when you invest in an area, new developments are drawn to it, such as Popeyes. We're excited that they are there, and we're looking forward to seeing more new businesses come to that area. Soon, we'll begin conversations about Phase 2 of this project, which is the area from Dartmouth to Manor Drive, and we hope that you will participate in these conversations. The Greater Midland Community Center has played an important role in our community for more than 105 years. For the last 2 years, we have watched it with anticipation as construction has transformed the center's former parking lot into its new home. I am thrilled to be able to announce that you can mark your calendars for opening day, which will be Wednesday, May 15th. So please save that date and join me as we celebrate this new state-of-the-art center that will redefine recreation and serve as a gathering spot for all age groups for generations to come. Yeah. This summer, DuPont will celebrate 5 years as a new member of our community. During this time, they completed a $3.4 million renovation of their Larkin Center, and their employees, our friends and neighbors, have volunteered more than 7,000 hours in Midland, showcasing their commitment to creating a thriving Midland. The Midland Mall. Okay, I think the most exciting thing about the Midland Mall is that it is now locally owned. Jordan Dice purchased the mall last March. He is there most days. He goes to the stores, and he knows many of the mall walkers by name. He said his first goal was to grow the food court, and by the end of the year, we should see a couple of new restaurants. He has a site chosen for his St. Lawrence Brothers store, and he is planning on building a not-your-ordinary children's play area that will be free and attract visitors. He said it's going to be 2 stories. It sounds a little dangerous to me, but I think it's going to be great. So with those kids. And something is brewing on North Saginaw Road. Mugshots opened in January near Dow High, and we now have another great place to grab coffee. With us today are representatives from Northwood who are celebrating an increase in enrollment, which is good for them and also great for our community. And we were very pleased to hear that Kent McDonald is going to continue in his role as president. And I just want to say, Kent, you and Mary Ellen have been a wonderful addition to our community. Yeah. Northwood isn't just a place for higher education, it's also a home to many sculptures that provide a public art collection that is open to our entire community, so the next time you're looking for a new place to walk or ride your bike, check out the Northwood campus. In January, My Michigan Health opened the new Party Cancer Wellness Center. Now their cancer services are all consolidated into one location. My Michigan is also trying creative ways to attract talent and recently launched a surgical technology partnership program with Delta College. This program provides students with externship opportunities and exposes My Michigan to potential new hires. Mid-Century Modern Midland is the program of the Alden Dow Home and Studio. And since it has begun, they have documented, preserved, celebrated, and shared the mid-century modern architectural heritage of our community. We have over 400 individually designed structures built between 1930 and 1970. Midland has the highest concentration of these structures in the United States. The work that they have done has increased and broadened tourism, has impacted the value of the structures themselves, and has created a greater awareness of this unique and differentiating feature of our Midland community. When you enter Midland, you see the signs, "Welcome to Midland, City of Modern Explorers." I think our architecture is one of the reasons we continue to be modern explorers. Midland Center for the Arts is the region's flagship for the arts. And despite the fact that they have not been able to make repairs to their electrical or HVAC system since the devastating floods of 2020, thank you FEMA, anyway, they continue to engage, enlighten, and entertain us. Last year, they served over 106,000 visitors, served almost 10,000 students, visited 34 school districts, and expanded the summer art fair to host over 10,500 visitors. The economic impact of the center on the region is $12 million. Second quarter this year, they will begin their $47 million renovation project. And adding to the activity in that part of town, Dow Gardens has hosted last year 230,000 guests. The butterflies are back now and will be here until April 15th, and Ribbit, the exhibit sculptures, will be in the gardens this summer for your enjoyment. If you haven't been downtown lately, you gotta check it out. Last year, we had some great new shops open, and most recently, Tavern on Main opened at the corner of Ashman and Main. Exciting new changes are also coming to the corner of Rod and Main Street, better known as the Odd Fellows Building. This historic building is the oldest building in our downtown and was built in 1876. This renovation will include shops on the main floor and 5 residential units above. And our wildly popular pedestrian plaza will open on June 6th. Our Great Lakes Saloons continue to invest in the stadium, enhancing the experience for both their guests and the players alike. Opening day is April 5th against the Fort Wayne Tin Caps, and for the first time in a long time, the Loons will play a home game on 4th of July. It will be a great day in Midland that day because there will also be a block party that evening and fireworks, so come on down and enjoy the fun. I opened with some wonderful praise from Leona Brandewine at Penn. Her remarks are a testament to the great people of Midland. You also heard me say that we have challenges. I recently reread Jim Collins' book, Good to Great for Social Sectors. He reminded me that the moment you think of yourself as great, your slide towards mediocrity has begun. This city is one of courage, gratitude, and hard work. We are facing challenges head-on with bravery, appreciating what we have, and putting in the effort to overcome obstacles. Okay, those 2 sentences, those were AI generated, but they're accurate. We are all those things, and mostly we're a city of doers. I have every confidence that this year will be better than last, and I look forward to working alongside of you to make that happen. Midland, an inclusive community, together forward bold, an exceptional place where everyone thrives. Thank you.